3 men and a woman from Manchester have been jailed for life after a doting dad was hunted down and battered to death with a metal bar. Warren Glover, 33, was found unconscious on a street and died 3 weeks later in hospital. Mr. Glover's family spoke of their grief and loss. His brother and sister Aaron and Melissa Stubbs received life sentences at Liverpool Crown Court. Both were convicted of joint enterprise murder last week, together with their friend, Stephen Strutt, and Strutt's brother-in-law, Peter Walker. All 4 denied the charges they faced, but were found guilty by a jury after a trial. Mr. Glover had been in a short, intense relationship with Melissa Stubbs, but they separated in November 2019, the court heard. Mr. Glover, it was said, started dating another woman at the start of 2020, but text messages showed he and Melissa Stubbs were talking about getting back together, and had arranged to meet on June the 12th last year, before she started to suspect he was seeing someone else. By June 13 they had fallen out, a judge was told.Tania Griffiths, QC, prosecuting, said. Warren Glover started to send nasty and abusive texts to Melissa and her parents, Frank and Gail. But worst of all, they were about her son. It led to Aaron and Melissa Stubbs telling Mr. Glover they were coming to smack his head in. The siblings, together with Strutt and Walker, drove to St. Helens in a Kia car, after arming themselves with weapons. The court heard that before they arrived, Mr. Glover armed himself with a lump hammer, went into the street, and swung the hammer, and damaged the car. Judge Dennis Watson, QC, sentencing on Friday, ruled they didn't intend to kill Mr. Glover while driving from Manchester, but did intend to cause him grievous bodily harm. He said, before he tried to run off, Aaron Stubbs got out of the car with the bar, and Peter Walker with the baseball bat. Aaron Stubbs then struck Warren Glover over the head from behind with a heavy blow, a very heavy blow. The judge added, 4 people set off in a car on a 30-mile trip and take weapons. The idea, as the defendants proposed, there was no discussion about what was going on, was absurd. These 4 people set off from Manchester on a 30-mile trip to inflict grievous bodily harm. Judge Watson said that, although there was some planning, it wasn't a long-held plan. He said it was clear on the evidence there was an escalation in emotional temperament at some point prior to the parties attending. Mr. Glover was left unconscious and suffered a fractured skull in the attack at around 10:15 p.m. on June the 13th last year, and later died in hospital on July the 7th. Judge Watson said the text messages were offensive and provocative, but as the attack occurred nearly 2 hours later, it suggests to me it was vengeance rather than a spur-of-the-moment overreaction. Melissa Stubbs, 30, of Burnage, was jailed for life with a minimum of 20 years and 6 months. Aaron Stubbs, 30, was jailed for life with a minimum of 21 years and 6 months. Strutt, 39, of Staley Bridge, Tameside, was jailed for life with a minimum of 20 years. Walker, 31, of Withanshawe, was jailed for life with a minimum of 20 years and 6 months. Strutt's girlfriend Sarah Clark, 30, was found guilty of assisting an offender after helping hide him in a hotel. Clark, who denied the charge she faced, was bailed and will be sentenced next month. Detective Inspector Jackie Guinness said afterwards, "Our inquiries led us to Manchester, and it soon became apparent that the group had made a series of arrangements and plotted to travel to Heath together to commit the attack on Mr. Glover." Merseyside police said it was a brutal assault. Jackie Glover, Mr. Glover's mum, thanked residents who gave her son first aid and contacted the emergency services. "I am really proud of Warren for him being a really great dad and for being brave enough and seeking help and support for his mental health problems," she said in a statement after the sentencing hearing. "Warren was my everything, the reason I got up each day. Without him I feel lost, broken and empty. I will be forever grateful for his life and I won't change a thing about him."